This is Umar Ahmed for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. We're in Cardiff, 2 days out for Chris Eubank Jr. and Liam Williams. I'm with the main man, pound for pound, best, in my opinion, in a lot of people's opinion as well, Roy Jones Jr. How focused is Chris at the moment? Is he in war mode?
Yeah, he's in war mode. He's very focused. He's been focused for quite some time now for this fight, so I think he's definitely in war mode.
He never had a proper trainer. This is the first time he's been in several camps with a proper trainer. Do you believe he's listening to you and taking on the information that you're giving him?
No, I don't believe. I know he's listening. I know he's taking on the information because I see him do it. He's doing it in sparring. He's doing it on the bags. He's doing it every day. And he understands what I'm teaching him and why I'm teaching it to him now. So he's never had a person that could give him purpose, that could teach him something that he didn't know already. So when you teach him something that he didn't know already, of course he's going to pick it up and he's going to listen to it because he didn't know that. But when you come teach him the same thing, you know, it's like he knows that already, he's not going to listen. So it's quite simple. Why would you listen to somebody who can't tell you any more than you already know?
How is he as a student?
Beautiful as a student, awesome as a student. When I teach him something, I leave, go home. I can come back 6 weeks later, he's better at what I taught him than he was when I left. Every time.
Yeah, because from the outside it looks like this relationship is blossoming. Is that the case, even more so in your opinion, from in the camp?
I think so, more so than people understand, because he listens and he enjoys listening, he enjoys learning. And that's the beautiful part, he loves to learn. People don't know that about him. He really loves to learn.
Roy, how would you assess Liam Williams as a fighter?
Liam Williams is a good fighter. He's not a bad fighter at all. He went to distance with Dimitri Andre. Dimitri knocked him down in the first round. He got up, survived that, made it a good fight, you know. I think he's a very good fighter. I can't take nothing away from Liam. I'm not here to discredit Liam. Liam is a good, daggone fighter, which is why I'm glad we're fighting, because if we beat a fighter that isn't as good as Liam, then we're not doing nothing. But when you beat somebody who's capable of being, he's number 2 over here. When you beat the number 2 guy in his hometown, that's saying something.
Of course, if he does make a statement live on Sky Sports, it pushes him to a world title shot. I know you and Chris won't be looking past Liam Williams this Saturday night, but ultimately 2022 should involve a world title shot for Chris Eubank Jr. I'm sure you agree.
Of course I agree. Everybody knows that. That was the whole purpose for us getting together, was to try to take him to a world title shot. So.
However, if that doesn't materialise, Chris and his promoter CALZAGHE'S have also talked about something that the British fans will be captivated with. We don't know if Billy Joe Saunders will return. However, a rematch with himself and Junior would sell out any stadium in this country. That fight must get your juices flowing as well.
Well, if he don't get a title fight, everybody always knows that Chris Eubank Jr. and Billy Joe Saunders will fight just like Roy Jones Jr. and Antonio Tarver. They'll fight until they're 100. So if an opportunity comes for them to fight, they will fight. Everybody knows that. So if all else fails, they're still Billy Joe.
Roy, you talked about fighting yourself there. Obviously, we heard Mike Tyson declare that he believes he'll never get in a ring again. What's your feelings at the moment? Do you think you'll step back in the ring?
I don't know. I don't plan on getting back in the ring, but if the money was right, it'd be hard for me to say no, because you only live once.
That is true. How do you think people see your legacy? Because a lot of people, as I said, see you as pound for pound one of the best ever. However, you do get, people saying Muhammad Ali was the greatest, Sugar Ray Robinson, Sugar Ray Leonard, some people argue is the greatest. Do you believe firmly that you were the greatest fighter of all time?
I'm not going to give you my belief, but I'm just going to say this. How many people, dead or alive, have ever turned professional as a junior middleweight and became heavyweight champ of the world?
No one.
Exactly. Enough said.
I don't think, well, it's a big shout, but I don't think anyone's going to do it ever again.
And the problem with it is even the guys that are at the top of their weight divisions now, if we take them and say, hey, do we think he would be able to win the heavyweight championship of the world? No, right away. Everybody going to say, even Canelo. Canelo was talking about fighting for the cruiserweight title, and he was asking Makabu to come down and weight some. You understand me? So it's like, come on, really? I mean, in my prime, before I lost the 25 pounds, and that first fight with Tarver was a good fight too. I'm glad I did that, because that was the first time I ever had to want to fight with my heart. So that showed the last quality that they had not seen in me yet. They had seen everything, the speed, the power, the finesse. They had seen everything except the heart. And losing to come back down, losing 25 pounds, come back down to weight, showed the heart. That was the icing on the cake. If that don't show you that this man in his prime was pound for pound the best to ever do it, then what else can he say?
Roy, it clearly affected you after the Ruiz fight, coming back down in weight. Now we see Canelo jumping up, down weights, etc. The Kovalev fight was light heavyweight. He's come back down to super middle. It might be going up to cruiserweight. How do you think he does it?
Well, he does it. He's not going as high as I went. I went straight 75 to 20 to 200. That's 25 pounds of muscle, something that I had never put on me before. He does it gradually. He was at 54. He was already too big for 54 when he went to 60. But he probably was already could carry 68 by the time he got to 60. So then he kind of put on a little bit more muscle and went to 68. Then he put just a tad more on to go 75, but then he just put it back down one more weight to 68. I jumped straight 25 up and jumped straight 25 back down. That was a massive jump. So it's affecting me. It's going to affect me much more than it's going to affect him because he's doing it weight class at a time. I just made the jump.
Well, talking about legacy, do you realise how much you're loved in the UK? You must feel it.
Yes, I do, and that's why I love being here. You know, listen, anybody else that was in another country, I wouldn't go to their country and train. They had to come to me. But because of how much these people love boxing in the UK and how much I'm loved in the UK, I enjoy every moment I get to come over here with him and train in the UK.
Let me ask you about a fantasy fight. Obviously, someone you know very well, Joe CALZAGHE, made some comments recently saying, you know, he respects Canelo a lot. He's a brilliant fighter, but he believes he would have beaten Canelo. How do you see that matchup?
You know, I think he probably would have beat Canelo too because Joe had a very busy style and Canelo is not a real explosive puncher. So how is he going to keep Joe off of him? I don't know. I mean, he throws good shots, throws good body shots, but he's not really an explosive head shot puncher. So he don't have a lot of one-punch knockouts to the head. With guys that are not known to have good chins, yeah, James Kirkland, Amir Khan, yeah, but what about guys that are known to have chins? You don't see him able to knock a lot of those guys out. You know what I'm saying? So if you can't knock Joe out one punch and you can't keep Joe off you, Joe going to be a hard measure for him to beat because Joe throws a lot of punches. Joe wins with volume. So I don't know that Canelo would have kept Joe off of him.
Yeah, it would have been a brilliant fight. Roy, I can't let you go without asking you your breakdown of Tyson Fury v Dillian Whyte. It looks like that fight is set for April in the UK. How do you read that one?
I'm just so glad that it's happening because I did not want the heavyweight division to have to look at a chess match in the next fight because it's too hot right now and the UK is too hot right now. We need fights that are going to be real fights. We need fights that are going to be love and war. We don't need to see good love and great love because good love and great love get bored. We want to see love and war. You understand me?
I get you.
Dillian Whyte and Tyson Fury, love and war. Tyson Fury and Usyk, love and big love. You understand me? It doesn't make for a dramatic night. We want dramatic. We want drama. You understand me? Dillian Whyte has the punching power that's going to produce drama. So how does Fury keep him off of him for 12 rounds? Drama. If he hits Usyk, what happens? Drama. I mean, if he hits Fury, what happens? Drama. You feel me? Whereas if it's Usyk and Fury, we don't expect neither one of them to knock the other out. You understand me? We expect a lot of holding, a lot of wrestling, a lot of pop, 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 pop. It's just not. That's not exciting for heavyweights. We want exciting heavyweight fights right now, and this one produces us an exciting fight.
The purse bid was won at $41 million. So for those people saying boxing's dying, etc., it clearly sends a statement. It was the highest purse bid ever to stage that fight here in the UK. Incredible figure, that.
That is out of this world. It's a beautiful thing for both fighters involved. It's a beautiful thing for boxing, period. And that is out of this world.
Right, Roy, I really appreciate your time on IFL TV. I'm just going to hand you the mic. Tell everyone why they should tune into Chris Eubank Jr. v Liam Williams on Sky Sports this Saturday night.
You should tune in to Liam Williams versus Chris Eubank Jr. because this is the fight between the top two middleweights of the UK. The top two guys, they're fighting each other in the number two guy's hometown. So it's a big event, a big setup for big drama, and both guys hate each other. They hate each other and they love to fight. This is going to be an awesome night. You'd be crazy if you missed it. And you got another treat. You got Clarissa Shields and Emma on the undercard. You should look at that too. Well, not on the undercard, but they're the co-main. You should look at that too because that's going to be another good fight.
On that note, Roy Jones Jr., thank you very much for your time, sir.
Thank you, my brother.